Станислав, ти остана во Киев, во Украина, иако бомбардирањето продолжува, иако бројот на жртви, на цивили застрашувачки расте. Каква е ситуацијата денеска во Киев и каква е во Украина генерално?
On the 24th of February, the Russian troops invaded on three sites after Moscow unleashed the biggest attack on the European state since the Second World War. I want to emphasize that the Russian operation became the next phase of the Russian military war that lasts for more than 8 years. At first, the occupation of the Crimean Peninsula was carried out, and then the war started in the Donbass. Now a full-scale invasion of Ukraine took place. The situation is very critical at the moment. There is no region or town in Ukraine where we can feel safe, because Russian missiles or aircraft fly to the most remote areas of Ukraine to attack military and civilian targets. For example, 3 days ago, Russia fired around 30 cruise missiles at the Yavoriv training base outside the city of Lviv. At least 35 people died in the strike on the base. The attack is significant because the base, one of the Ukraine's largest military facilities, is located just 25 kilometers from Poland, a NATO member. Moreover, the border with Poland is a vital road for refugees because Lviv Oblast has become a hub for millions of people escaping the war in other areas. The level of danger increases as close to the Russian border. Therefore, such cities as Kharkiv, Chernihiv, or Mariupol are especially suffering from continuous bombing, in which hundreds and thousands of civilians are killed, critical infrastructure is destroyed. It is already clear Vladimir Putin seeks to take control of Ukraine and overthrow its democratically elected government. That is why his main goal is the capture of Kyiv. Several attempts have already been done, but failed. However, the Russians continue to attack the Ukrainian capital. Cannon fire is constantly heard in Kyiv, as well as alarm signals which are warning to go down to the bomb shelter. A series of Russian strikes hit a residential neighborhood in the capital on Tuesday, igniting a huge fire and prompting a frantic rescue effort in an apartment building. Several people were killed. Therefore, Russia is yet to capture any of Ukraine's biggest cities, and officials in Kyiv have raised hopes that war could end sooner than expected, possibly by May. That is why Ukraine needs to help of foreign partners, and it is provided. For example, these days, the Polish, Czech, and Slovenian prime ministers visited Kyiv in a show of European solidarity with embattled Ukraine after pre-dawn Russian missile strikes against had pounded the country's capital. Other countries of the free world support us as well.
Станислав, последните информации велат дека делови од мировен договор, некаков кој би се склучил помеѓу Украина и Русија, се можни за договор. Всушност, така најави и Сергеј Лавров, првиот човек на руската дипломатија, дека Украина би можела да се сложи околу неутрален статус.
First of all, I want to indicate, to stop the war, the Russian dictator wants Ukraine to recognize Crimea as part of Russia and the independence of the quasi-state. Also, he demands that Ukraine will not join NATO and the European Union. Despite the Russian assault, President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, had said peace talks with Russia were beginning to sound more realistic, but that more time was needed to ensure the outcome of the negotiations were in Kyiv's interest. Talks between Russia and Ukraine were due resumed on Tuesday. President Zelensky confirmed that the previous round had done pretty well. While previous talks focused on humanitarian issues, the latest aimed to achieve a ceasefire, securing Russian troops withdrawals and establishing security guarantees for Ukraine. The Russian side suggested draft agreement may not be far off. Foreign Minister of aggressor country Sergei Lavrov said the peace talks with Ukraine aren't easy, but added that there was hope for compromise. However, the most important are the issues. What compromises can be achieved in negotiations? The Kremlin said that a demilitarized Ukraine with its own army along the lines of Austria or Sweden was being looked as a possible compromise. But Ukraine rejects proposal of Austria and Sweden neutrality model. There are several reasons for this. First, Ukraine from 2010 to 2014 had similar status, and this didn't protect it from the invasion of Russia. Secondly, the future membership in the NATO is provided for the constitution of Ukraine, and unlikely pro-European parties in the parliament to vote for their position. Thirdly, membership in the alliance is supported by an absolute majority of Ukrainian citizens. They don't want to obey an unjustified desire of Putin. Therefore, I suppose that talking about some compromises at this stage is still too early. However, I and other Ukrainians believe in Ukrainian victory.
Станислав, ти благодарам за овој разговор, ти остануваш во Украина, можам да кажам само чувај се и чувајте се сите. Благодарам.
Goodbye.